voyage with us to China for a discussion of how China is viewing the metaverse moment. This is a little interesting little nugget from a metaverse conference in Beijing, right? China, obviously, against the backdrop of pretty restrictive crypto policies, is thinking about what a metaverse looks like, including NFTs and other digital assets. Some really interesting details in this piece. Just wanted to end the show on this one. I'm going to throw it to Jen for her thoughts on how China is approaching the metaverse.
I thought that it was really interesting that they said international participation was severely limited due in part to strict COVID-19 controls, but 2 foreign speakers were able to speak in a pre-recorded video. That tells me that there was a way for foreign people to participate, but foreign people maybe were not invited or encouraged to participate on a large scale. I feel like the COVID-19, I feel like there's some hiding and maybe some smoke and mirrors when it comes to the COVID-19 narrative as to why foreign nationals weren't able to participate. I think when you think about China and you think about the metaverse, it's almost an oxymoron, right? The metaverse is supposed to be this open place where people can go and gather online and do things and move assets around. And China has traditionally very much controlled the people there and controlled the platforms that the people use. So I'm really interested to see how China's thinking about the metaverse. We've already seen how they're thinking about NFTs. They're actually not calling NFTs in China. They're called digital collectibles. You can buy these from Chinese tech companies. They're only attached to digital art. There's no utility that is attached to these digital collectibles, and they cannot be sold on a secondary market. So I just wonder what the metaverse will look like in China. I feel like it will be very closed, very controlled. Will, what do you think?
Yeah, I have 2 takes on this. The first one is we really have the stage set for a dystopian novel in front of us, right? We have like the 20th century Soviet style playbook where we're going to build this industry ourselves. It's going to be a new industry, but party leaders are going to be heavily involved with it. They're going to allow it to be independent, but controllable, whatever that's supposed to mean. And on the flip side, you have like this 21st century very out there world where the corporations are controlling whatever this metaverse looks like, right? Where Facebook and Meta is going to be controlling the metaverse. They're going to be owning the standards. They're going to be building it for everyone. And then all these Westerners are going to go into the metaverse and have an experience that's supposed to be fantastic and like full of like leisure and enjoyable, whatever that's supposed to look like. But it's very dystopian at the same time, right? Because the corporation is controlling it. And then you have like the rogue third option, which is supposed to be like this crypto place where like a lot of random developers with open source code are fighting back and trying to make their own metaverse, their own world. We have like Decentraland and Mana tokens and things like that. So we have these 3 competing visions all hitting the books at the same time. I don't know which one wins, and I'm pretty bearish on the metaverse, as I've made known a few times, but I think the stage is set for something interesting. Last point on this, last take, is the fact that China is getting so involved with this and these large Chinese corporations, or at least corporations in China that are heavily backed by state or have the state overlooking them like NVIDIA. That is not great for metaverse development, right? We don't want to have the same playbook that we have with like TikTok or other Chinese-based industries that are heavily censored by Chinese regimes. We see tons of different geopolitical fallouts from that. I think we're just setting the stage for this very similar landscape in 21st century tech with the metaverse. Zach, to you.
Yeah, I think you're going to have these competing things, right? These siloized metaverses, be they national silos or corporate silos, and this vision of interoperability, right? We've seen the metaverse and writings on interoperability among metaverse standards. The competing perspective is that there's just going to be these different little groups that don't really talk to each other for reasons that are either cultural or technical. That's what I'm going to be watching out for. Jen, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, there was a part of the story that also said, I think it was Beijing and Shanghai are focusing on education and tourism when it comes to building out their metaverse strategy. I think that's really smart for China. I can imagine, if you want to go and visit the Great Wall but are never going to make it over to China, maybe there's like an educational element. You hop into their metaverse. I'm sure there'll be a ton of privacy concerns and issues with that, but you hop into there and you can learn a little bit about Chinese history and some of the landmarks. Vice versa, for students who are learning in China, maybe they can visit different parts of China. So education and tourism makes sense to me, but I agree with both of you on what this could look like in the future. Yes, Zach.
Education, let's be real. I mean, it's no accident that the most popular part of Decentraland is the casino. People are there to gamble, have fun. I'm not trying to learn
like
stuff.
to
Come on.
be educated. Yeah,
No, they
people want to
don't.
go see things.
Get out of here with that broccoli. People want candy.
What's a better education than losing a lot of money in the metaverse? I
That's
don't know.
true.
Fully immersive experience in losing your shirt at the tables. That's what we're all about here.